program with the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, 9 straight years and running. It is Financial Focus, ladies and gentlemen, with more than 31 years serving North Central Florida proactive savers and investors. The team from GulfCoast Financial Services and founder and CEO John Kuykendall are here with us on Financial Focus each week, providing proactive guidance and a common sense approach to your money, to your investments, and your retirement planning. And John, it is that time of year where the procrastinators are out in full force. I saw some unbelievable stats that men in particular, somewhere between 25 to 33% of them wait until Christmas Eve to start their Christmas shopping. If that's not procrastination at its finest, I don't know what is.
Well, that's right, Peter. You know, I heard that I read also that about over 50% buy their spouse's gift on Christmas Eve. Anxiety, they said, was the main reason. And, I guess that's true. We're anxious about what we're going to get our spouses. And, unfortunately, a long time ago, we probably told them we wouldn't get them appliances. And so that takes a lot of things out of the equation. And after a few years, you really have to get creative,
It takes a lot of thinking, and then you've got to sort through, well, what do they want? What do they need? If I get them what they need, are they going to also want it? And it's just a lot of pressure along with the day-to-day lives that we've got to be busy and active in. So I understand the procrastination. Now, thankfully, John, most of my holiday shopping is done. I am proud and thankful not to have to be out there last minute shopping this year, but that's not every year for me. However, on a larger scale, procrastination may be symptomatic and show in other areas of our lives, particularly our financial and retirement planning and getting things in order from a financial perspective. I guess it's better late than never, but it certainly would be even better if we started sooner.
Well, that's right, Peter. The reason that you're through with your Christmas shopping is that you planned it ahead of time, you reacted ahead of time, and you got it out of the way, and you're comfortable and happy now. I mean, the pressure's off. But so many times, as you know, how many times have you heard the story where the prospect or the client comes in and said, I don't know what my 401k is doing because I just stick the statements away and never look at them.
Right.
And they never do the planning that it takes to really make the kind of return they need to make because they're not reacting to market and conditions.
John, how much of that is just the sense that we can take care of that one day or someday in the future, but we've got more pressing issues that we've got to deal with today, like showing up to work?
Well, yeah. And how many times have you talked to some guy about life insurance when, he's got a wife and 2 kids and a home and car payments, and you talk to him about life insurance and, well, I'll get around to that sometime, or I'll think about it later, or I'll put it off. We insure everything that we own, but we don't insure our lives.
Yeah.
And how many times have you heard the stories where somebody's passed away unexpectedly, because we never know, when our time's up, and they left their family in a mess because they didn't cover the debt and the things that they needed to cover to give the surviving spouse the kind of lifestyle that he or she deserved, and they didn't take care of the kids.
Yeah.
And I think back to the story talking about estate planning and estate documents. I think back to the story of the lady that came to see me with 4 small kids, all under the age of 6, whose husband had just died. And the only thing he left her or left them was a piece of property in another state. And she had no will, no power of attorney, and no way to actually claim the property without going through probate. She had no money.
That's a very sad story. In part, I think the common overlooking of life insurance, John, yes, it's procrastination, but it's also that invincibility syndrome, right? I'm Superman. Nothing's ever going to happen to me until it does. And then when it does, all of a sudden, I've got the burning desire to go out and find life insurance after that bad doctor's appointment or that bad news, or I notice something, right? All of a sudden, then life insurance becomes important, but that's not the way that life insurance companies work and operate. You've got to get that and secure it at a young age, and good health are your best assets to get quality, affordable life insurance coverage, right?
Well, the premiums are cheaper, and it's easy. It's more efficient and more effective for you to buy the policy early. So, and besides that, you're in good health. I mean, it's kind of like going to the dentist and getting a root canal, needing a root canal, and coming back and wanting to buy dental insurance. It doesn't work that way, and we never know when we're going to go to the doctor and find that, hey, we got a problem, and therefore now we're uninsurable. And so there's no way I can get life insurance. And the thing of it is where else can you get a large asset that's going to go to your heirs or to you tax free, and you don't have to worry about it's going to go automatic. But we don't think about that for pennies. We're going to have this huge asset that we can pass on, and we don't really react to it. But you are right, it's the invincibility, but it's also procrastination, because you think, I've got time to get that, I don't have to buy it now because I don't want to pay for it. But you forget about building up the cash value and building up that tax-free income you could have in retirement when you started early.
Well, if you are out in the hustle and bustle of this pre-holiday weekend and are waiting for a sign or a reminder to not procrastinate on this important issue, consider this that sign. Any mature, responsible adult over the age of 18, especially with children, with debt, with a mortgage, with a spouse and a family that depends on income, you need to have life insurance. And John Kuykendall and his team can help you find and select the right appropriate coverage at the best price for you. So feel free to reach out and give them a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. And what better gift to give to your family and loved ones than that sense of confidence that step alone can provide. But there are, John, unfortunately, many others where people do procrastinate. Another one is getting those legal documents in place. You mentioned the will. You mentioned that those legal documents can be just as vitally important as well.
Well, they are. They're probably as important or more important for those that are left behind. But you don't want to wait too long. We talked to a client this week whose husband's got dementia. And so I said, where's the power of attorney? She says, we don't have one. So you can't wait till the last minute to get your legal documents. And they're not that expensive, Peter. Unfortunately, I think it's the stigma of thinking that the attorney's going to charge me an arm and a leg if I go get these documents, when they're really not that expensive. And in the long run, it's the best in money you'll spend in the event that something happens. And it doesn't have to be death. It can be incapacitation.
Right.
You could be in a wreck, in a coma, but you're going to be well. We have to have some way to get to what you built up your assets.
Yeah. There are many scenarios where those important documents come into play and are invaluable, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you get those taken care of as well. And John, I know that you specifically, not an attorney, you don't draft or design the documents, but you work with a team, a network of professionals in different areas to make sure that plans are complete and coordinated.
That's right. We have a group that we work with that will produce those documents and produce them at a reasonable price. And I'm amazed, Peter, at how many times just the percentage of the population that doesn't have them. And I feel like that we need to do a better job as advisors in making sure that our clients and the people that we talk to get those documents and staying on them until they get them. But it's certainly a matter of procrastination.
Yeah, holding feet to the fire and a matter of accountability a little bit. John, again, procrastination, I think, is symptomatic, but it is so prevalent, and we see it in many different areas of our financial lives. This time of year, but even more systemically, we are buying things today that we plan on paying for tomorrow. And debt is yet another kind of symptom of that problem of procrastination. We need to be more proactive in either staying out of debt or getting rid of debt where possible.
Well, that's right, Peter. How many times have you bought the refrigerator you pay it off in 12 months and you don't have any interest? Well, how many times have you not been able to pay it off in the 12th month and then you end up getting all that back interest? It's, it's a marketing gimmick, but it certainly pulls a lot of people in. And it's just a way of buying something now that you don't have the money to pay for. And so what we try to do here when we do our planning is build up a reserve fund so that we can stay out of debt. The only debt we want to have is debt that's deductible. If we can eliminate the credit cards and the installment payments, and then the financial plan works a lot better and people are a lot happy. The number one cause of divorce, I feel, is financial stress.
Yeah,
people are just overextended.
I think a lot of studies have shown that is, if not the number one, right up there, John. Financial stress and disagreements over debt, over not making the financial progress we would like to. Saving and investing is something that you want to start early. If you haven't started early, the second best time to start is now. But there are charts that show the benefit of saving and investing early, the time value of money. If you miss out on the first several years or any years, in fact, during that chart, it's not those years that you're missing. It's the back end, the tail end that curves up like a hockey stick of the potential growth that you could be getting. I know people procrastinate on addressing the risk in their portfolio, John. They only seem to want to address that after the market has had a downturn. And maybe of the utmost importance is bringing all of the pieces together and formulating the true plan. We have a lot of tools, but we don't need to procrastinate on forming the written retirement income plan, that financially focused plan that you talk about so often.
Well, that plan will put everything into place so that we know where our assets are and we can consolidate the assets that we have in different places so that we don't end up with 4 or 5 IRAs. We consolidate them for cost and also for diversification, Peter. So many times people, the market's up. I don't want to lose. But on the other hand, when the market's down, then I don't want to do anything either because it may come back. And all we do is play the odds and they don't work in our favor.
Yep. Well, if you have not procrastinated on this event, well, the next procrastinators holiday is right around the corner. And this is one, John, we see a lot of procrastination about, which is taxes. In fact, the very nature of the tax system in America sort of has favored procrastination with deferring and delaying the paying of taxes on our retirement dollars. But that is also, like every other topic we've talked about, perhaps not in our best interest to continue to procrastinate and delay on that.
That's right, Peter. And the thing is that if we're going to do Roth conversions, we're going to do things that we can go ahead and pay the taxes now and not have them later, then you need to do them now before you get on Social Security and Medicare. We need to do some planning. The Roth conversions work best the sooner they're done than working later. And so in order to do that, we have to get off our rear ends and actually do something and not just procrastinate about getting that income plan. But also think about taxes should be proactive. Instead, we're reactive. We prepare our tax papers in February or March. We file in April or May. And most people I talked to a client the other day that hadn't even filed their taxes for 22. So, that we're really in the hole when we do that because we're not being proactive and taking advantage of what we can do. And as we've talked about, taxes are changing in December of 25. And so we need to be ready to do some things now and not wait.
Well, for many of us, we're hustling around, stressed and settling for good enough because we've procrastinated in our holiday shopping. But when it comes to your retirement, your financial future, good enough isn't. So are you procrastinating in any areas of your financial planning? Think about just the impact a little more forethought could have had for the holidays. Could you have bought a better gift? Could you have saved some money? Could you have made somebody a little happier? Now think about that same kind of procrastination and how that could impact your total financial picture, not just the holidays ahead. That's the planning process there at Gulf Coast Financial Services to get the procrastination out of the way, to get down to it, to get proactive and to make sure that we are making proactive steps forward. Right, John?
That's right, Peter. That's what we try to do is look at everything, taxes, Social Security, Medicare, all the components of a good plan and be proactive in making sure that we do the best we can.
We'll get that financially focused written retirement income plan in place, ladies and gentlemen. Don't procrastinate. And I know that we are busy in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the holidays, but go ahead and place the call now to Gulf Coast Financial Services to put that plan in motion, to get the ball started, to get that positive momentum. 386-755-9018, the number to call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018 to reach John and the entire team there at Gulf Coast Financial Services. And John, we always appreciate the time that we have you here on the program, reminding us that we do need to stress the importance of being a little bit more proactive in our plan.
Thank you, Peter. It was great being here. Have a good week.
Always a pleasure, John. Stay financially focused, folks, and give Gulf Coast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, or you can visit online, GulfCoastFinancial.net, GulfCoastFinancial.net. Talk to you next time.
Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.